CBS 6 News starts now.
Tonight, a crisis gets bigger by the day.
Hundreds of migrants now calling Capital Region hotels home. More migrants could be on the way from New York City, and lawmakers say communities are being left in the dark.
Plus, a deal with the Teamsters Union avoids a catastrophic strike. How UPS is meeting demands in an agreement described as overwhelmingly lucrative.
Consumer confidence hits a 2-year high, and U.S. supply chains dodge a bullet. I'm Atrell Nashar with how these developments could help stave off a recession.
Recent flooding leaves farmers with ruined crops, the push to get them relief, and what it means for your grocery bill. Nearly 1,000 asylum seekers now calling the Capital Region home.
More than 30 counties in the state of New York have issued states of emergency regarding housing those asylum seekers. These right here are the 8 Capital Region counties. Schenectady County is the latest, approving the emergency order just last night.
CBS 6's Ashley Dagger has more as officials search for answers and communication from New York City. Santa Barbara and other officials are asking New York Attorney General Letitia James to investigate the Super 8 hotel situation. Her office says they are aware of it. Meantime, a federal judge dealing a blow to the Biden administration, blocking a key asylum rule for migrants crossing the southern border.
Yeah, that rule allows border officials to deny asylum to migrants who show up without first applying online or without trying to seek asylum in a country that they pass through on their way here. The judge is delaying the ruling from taking effect immediately, so the administration does have some time to appeal. Immigration advocates sued, arguing the rule violates the law protecting asylum rights regardless of how someone enters the country. The White House says it was trying to prevent a surge of migrants after COVID restrictions were lifted.
And you can follow our local coverage of this migrant crisis and get breaking news notifications on the go by downloading our free CBS 6 News mobile app. Search WRGB in the Apple App Store and on Google Play. A looming strike that could have caused a major disruption to the U.S. economy averted. UPS and its unionized workers announcing today that they have reached a deal. The tentative agreement comes less than a week before the current contract was set to expire. The Teamsters, which represents 340,000 UPS workers, called the 5-year deal historic, saying it includes higher wages for both full-time and part-time workers and air conditioning and delivery trucks purchased after the new year. UPS ships an estimated 24 million packages daily, adding up to about a quarter of all U.S. packages.
I think we can all breathe a sigh of relief that it's not going to happen. A strike in this magnitude with the volume that they handle, we don't have enough alternatives. So first, costs would have gone up, delays would have increased in terms of products.
The union members still have to ratify the deal. Profits at UPS have grown more than 140% since the last contract, before the pandemic significantly changed how households shop. Rotterdam police identifying a woman found dead at a home on Greenpoint Avenue on Friday. Police were called to the home for a health and welfare check on 24-year-old Skylar Pettit. She was found dead inside of the home. A medical examiner determined that she died of natural causes. Police say her remains were there for several months. An investigation is looking into the amount of time that has passed and the fact that this was not reported sooner. And 2 people are in the hospital tonight following a serious crash. We first brought it to you as breaking news last night at 5. Niskayuna police providing new details today. The crash happened on Route 7 near the Bellevue Women's Center Monday afternoon. We now know that 3 cars were involved in the crash. The drivers of 2 of them were taken to Albany Med with serious injuries. Our crew did see a medical chopper on the scene as well. The crash is still under investigation, so if you know anything, contact police. Well, much more still to come on the news at 5 and 5:30. Historic floods wipe out crops. What stands between farmers and critical relief? And we just can't catch a break from weather extremes, from severe storms to excessive heat heading our way. All right, Steve, thank you. The state of Vermont still recovering from historic flooding earlier this month, leaving communities underwater.
You can see it right there. The effects will be felt for some time. The governor, Phil Scott, toured farmland yesterday.
So far, we know of about 10,000 acres of farmland that has been impacted by the flooding. The message we got yesterday that's so important for the producers to hear is report your damage.
Governor Scott and Senator Peter Welch say they need firm numbers on damage in order to make the case for support from Washington. Governor Scott has requested a disaster declaration from the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
In Western Massachusetts, the state Senate recently announced a push to get $20 million of immediate relief to farmers, but final approving is still pending. Additional relief could come from the USDA, as lawmakers are also asking for a disaster declaration. CBS 6's Jackie Slater visited Twin Rivers Farm in Sheffield, Massachusetts today to see some of the devastation firsthand. World-famous jam band and Vermont natives Fish will play 2 shows at SPAC next month to benefit flood victims.
Here's the deal. Tickets are on sale on Saturday. The 2 concerts are set for August 25th and 26th. Proceeds from ticket and merchandise sales will go to the band's Waterwheel Foundation Flood Recovery Fund. So it's a very nice thing they're doing there.
Yeah, absolutely.
A record-breaking contract has been signed by Boston Celtics star Jaylen Brown.
Next in sports, just how much Brown's Supermax contract is worth.
And now, CBS 6 Sports, sponsored by your local upstate Chevy dealers.
NBA star LeBron James' teenage son Bronny James suffering a cardiac arrest during basketball practice.
Yeah, terrible news here. Bronny was practicing at the University of Southern California when it happened. His family says he's now out of the ICU and is recovering. The 18-year-old is an incoming freshman for USC's basketball team and was rated as a 4-star recruit early in his basketball career. Well, Boston Celtics shooting guard Jaylen Brown signing the richest contract in NBA history with the team today.
A contract worth $304 million over 5 years, known as a Supermax extension. By virtue of making the All-NBA second team for the first time in his career, he was eligible for such an extension. This surpasses the record $264 million deal signed by Nikola Jokic for the Denver Nuggets last year. Jaylen Brown is a 2-time All-Star who averages 26 points a game for the Celtics.
Another big contract signed today, this time between running back Saquon Barkley and the New York Giants. The 1-year deal will replace a franchise tag placed on Barkley worth $11 million. The deal would increase his 2024 franchise tag to more than $13 million. Giants co-owner John Mara saying he hopes Barkley will remain a Giant for his entire career, like Eli Manning and Michael Strahan did before him.
Giants fans happy about that one, trust me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, coming up, an approach to homelessness that's being hailed as a step in the right direction.
Next, and all new at 5:30, the jobs available to people in the city of Saratoga Springs, and we'll tell you just who can apply for those jobs.
I'm Kayla Gaskins in Washington. Coming up, White House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is ramping up threats of impeaching President Joe Biden.
And at 6 tonight, when it comes to disciplining your child in the classroom, why some experts see unintended consequences of some newly approved changes to state policies.
CBS 6 News starts now.
First at 5:30, your top stories and weather headlines. Here's what you need to know.
Nearly 1,000 asylum seekers now call the Capital Region home. Schenectady County is the latest to declare an emergency order to handle the crisis. Rotterdam Assembly member Angelo Santa Barbara is introducing legislation in Albany to ensure transparency in the state's migrant crisis.
And UPS has reached a tentative deal with its 340,000 union workers. This avoids a strike that had the potential to disrupt global markets. The deal includes higher wages and air conditioning in delivery trucks. It faces a union vote next month.
We will have in-depth coverage on all of these stories coming up in our next hour. In the meantime, you can visit our website, cbs6albany.com.
Well, Steve and the CBS 6 Weather Authority team have had their work cut out for them this month, tracking severe weather, bringing us a lot of rain.
And heat, as you can see in that graphic right there. Tonight, meteorologist Sam Copeland reports on another weather extreme heading our way that will have you cranking up the AC.
Helping people get back on their feet. That's the goal of a new program being launched in Saratoga Springs. It's called the Helping Hands Program. Saratoga's Department of Public Works is looking to fill 3 to 4 part-time seasonal positions with people experiencing homelessness. The employees will carry out a number of labor-related tasks, including cleaning, painting, mowing, and trail maintenance. People receiving help through RISE or Shelters of Saratoga can apply for the program. We spoke with both organizations today, and they say this program is a step in the right direction when it comes to tackling housing and employment needs.
Anytime we can provide some opportunities for the people we serve, of course, we're going to be excited about it. So we're excited to be included from the city. If we want a successful community, we have to be able to provide everyone in our community with a living wage. And this is one of those opportunities that we have to get there.
I think it's a wonderful idea. A lot of the folks that we work with have been out of the workforce for a while, and they need a way to get back into the workforce that is a little lower pressure and probably part-time, so they can get acclimated back to working again.
Funding has already been set aside for the program this year. The Department of Public Works also plans to include it as part of next year's budget as well. And the city hopes to expand the program in the future. If you or someone you know is in need of help, or for more information about RISE or Shelters of Saratoga, visit this story on CBS6Albany.com. Several COVID-19 pandemic-era benefits are set to expire this fall, meaning around 28 million people will have to start paying their monthly student loans again beginning in October. Stabilization grants for child care also going away at the end of September. Nearly 3 million children may be impacted as thousands of programs could close. Meantime, nearly 500,000 people could lose access to food stamps when work requirements for the benefits resume in October. Nearly 70 years after 14-year-old Emmett Till was accused of whistling at a white woman in Mississippi and then abducted, tortured, and murdered, the White House is establishing a national monument paying tribute to the Till family and shining a light on this part of American history.
Now, we do want to warn you, this next story contains some images that some may consider graphic. We have chosen to include them as part of an important historical context in telling Emmett Till's story. Here's Natalie Brand. Emmett Till's family and preservationists are raising money to restore each of the sites for inclusion in the national park system.
Well, next tonight, it's a banned travel practice that people are now doing to save money. Why skiplagging is so popular and what it could put at risk when you fly.
An outbreak of listeria has food scientists struggling to find the source. I'm Liz Bonus. What we all need to know about it. It is just ahead.
And a film set heist, the movie production in Vermont where props were stolen.
Three people are dead and several others in the hospital following an outbreak of listeria in Washington state.
It's pretty scary. Medical reporter Liz Bonus shares why infectious disease specialists are on high alert for what could be a risk for all of us. Delightful sounds good. Thank you, Steve. Coming up all new at 6 tonight here on CBS 6. An Albany summer camp is hoping to save lives.
And they're offering another way for youth to stay involved in their community in a positive way. Plus, when it comes to disciplining your child in the classroom, why some experts see unintended consequences of some newly approved changes to state policies.
I had never heard of this before today, but here it is, a trick that some savvy airline passengers are using to save money. It's called skiplagging, or hidden city ticketing. You book a flight with a layover, and the layover is actually the final destination. Apparently, you can avoid the more expensive direct flight price by doing this.
People are getting creative.
Yeah.
Dee Dee Gatton has more from travel experts who say the practice is actually banned by airlines. A sequel to Tim Burton's Beetlejuice from 1988 is in the works. It's filming in Vermont, and police are investigating 2 reported thefts from the set.
That's not good. Police in East Corinth got a call from Beetlejuice set security on July 14th reporting the props missing. According to Vermont State Police, a pickup truck drove up to a large lamppost, put that in the back of the truck, covered it up with a tarp, and then drove off. Police say film officials told them that 3 days later, a 150-pound abstract art statue was missing from a Beetlejuice set near the cemetery. Vermont State Police are encouraging anyone with any information on the thefts to contact them. They're obviously looking for strong thieves, because those are big things.
Well, still to come tonight, hundreds of migrants now calling Capital Region hotels home. More migrants could be on the way from New York City, and lawmakers say communities are being left in the dark.